Good day. Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. Today's focus for our class is going to be these little beauties right here, the knees. And so our chief focus is going to be on learning some nice safe techniques to kind of strengthen your thigh muscles called your quadriceps, as well as making sure that those muscles have adequate length. Part of the problem we have, particularly with the aging process, is that not only do these muscles get weak, but they also get quite tight, which really limits our ability to get up and down from the floor, up and down from chairs, and to negotiate stairs. So we're gonna tackle our knees from a strength and flexibility standpoint today. Now, if you're at home with me and you have particular knee conditions, then it might be that some of the things that you do today, you will need to modify even more than I am modifying. So don't cause your knees pain trying to strengthen and create flexibility. So start in standing for me. In class today, you're gonna need your yoga mat. You're gonna need a yoga chair. And then in sitting on our mat, we're also gonna be using a yoga strap and a yoga block. So have something similar to that for your class. And once you've got all of that, go ahead and find yourself in a nice standing position. Check in that your feet are about hip distance. So your hip joints are in the front center of your legs. So generally speaking, what I tell people, if you bring your fist down between your big toe joints, you're gonna be at about your hip distance. Check in with the alignment of your feet here. So turn your heel slightly out so that your feet are running parallel to the front or back or outside of your mat, depending on how you're standing on your mat. Now, in this position, just take a minute to start to kind of balance your body weight within your base of support of your feet. And so just kind of rock yourself side to side for a moment and feel that point where all the weight is on the right leg, all the weight is on the left leg. And keep doing that a couple of times, and then slowly start to decrease that oscillation until you kind of feel like you're smack dab in the center. Then start to kind of shift your weight to the front of your feet, shift your weight to your heels. It's a much smaller oscillation than side to side. And then as you do that, start to minimize the oscillation until you feel that you have weight in your heels and weight in the balls of your feet. Now, for those of us that tend to overuse our toe flexors, so those attending the class today that wear flip-flops, those are the main people I'm talking about. Take a moment here to kind of lift your toes up, but make sure your balls of your toes are still pushing down into the floor. And then spread your toes and slowly bring your toes back down to the floor. You've got it. Now take a moment to tighten your knees, hyperextend them, and then relax them so that you've got a nice soft bend in the knees. From there, go to your pelvis. So our pelvic bowl should be nice and symmetrical, not tipping forward, not tipping backward. So just place your hands on your pelvis or maybe even the band of your waist, and just allow yourself to tip your pelvis forward and backward a couple of times, and see for you if you can find that middle of the road for you. Now, as you did that, you may have changed or translated your weight through your feet forward or back. So find that center of the road with your pelvis and then go back to finding weight through the balls of your feet and weight through your heels. Very nice. Now, in this position, allow yourself to see if you can figure out where does your rib cage stack directly under your pelvis. So a very common dysfunction that we see, because we're a sitting nation, is that we kind of slump back with our rib cage behind our pelvis. So let's all try to correct that particular dysfunction. So take a nice deep inhale, lift your rib cage up and hold your breath there. Look down at your feet. That repositions your rib cage. And then as you exhale, just let your rib cage settle, let your belly settle. Now, most of us probably have forward shoulder girdles, like my hands are in front of me right now. So let's correct that as well. So just take your shoulders and very lightly shrug them towards the ceiling. Turn your hands and rotate your thumbs all the way to the back of the room. And then once you've done that, pull your shoulder blades back and down and squeeze the base or the bottom of your shoulder blades together a little tiny bit, but then just relax your hands. Then lengthen your neck, settle your chin, place your tongue to the roof of your mouth, And then in this position, if you feel like you want to practice a little bit of balance with the vision gone, just gently kind of close your eyes. So we're going to kind of use a mantra through class today. A mantra is just a phrase that you repeat to yourself to kind of become present with the moment. And so the mantra that we're going to use today is nice and easy. You're just going to take an inhale and say, "This is stress," to yourself. And then as you exhale, stress is a part of life. Take another inhale. And on that final exhale, say to yourself, "May I find ease." So we're going to use that over and over today as we're kind of working through our knees, and maybe some parts of what we're doing is a little bit more stressful than we like. All right, so let's start with just kind of opening up our spine a little tiny bit here. So bring your hands to the center of your heart. See if you can keep that base of support you got going underneath you. Take a nice deep inhale, lift your arms up, turn your palms to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, bring your hands down. Now push into the floor a little bit to start to engage your glutes and your quadriceps. Inhale, lift your arms up. I know you can't see mine, but my palms are reaching to the ceiling. And then exhale, come all the way back down. Let's do that one more time. Palms to the hands to the heart center. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Palms up into the ceiling, and then exhale and coming all the way down. Very nice. So to start opening through the side of the body, what I want you to do today is I want you to take your feet about 2 to 3 feet apart. Allow your toes to point outward, and then in that position, see if you can line up your kneecaps with your second toes. So take a gentle squat down. So we call this goddess pose in yoga. So what I want you to do is I want you just to take not a deep squat. So we're not trying to really work on getting a lot of stress and tension in our adductors or inner thigh. But what I want you to do is just allow your pelvis to feel like it's connected to the floor. Now, as you squat down a little bit, can you check in that your knees are not falling inward? So pull the knees outward so that you feel weight into the outside of your heels. Very nice. Now, take your hands and on an inhale, bring your hands up. Left hand, grab a hold of the right wrist, and on the exhale, pull your shoulder blades back and down. Now take a deep inhale, lift your rib cage nice and high, and as you exhale, side bend over to that left. See if you can turn that armpit up a tiny bit. Push into your feet. You should already feel your quadriceps. Take another nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, maybe you have a little bit more side bend. Inhale the arms back up, exhale the arms down, and straighten the legs to give the thighs a little bit of a rest. All right, so let's do that all over again. Find yourself in that goddess pose. So make sure that you pull your knees outward to the side so you feel weight into the ball of your pinky and the outside of your heel. So check in, do I feel weight through my pinky ball and the outside of my heel? Take that inhale, lift the arms up, right hand grab the left wrist, take an exhale here, shoulder blades back and down. Now take an inhale, lift the rib cage up, and then as you exhale, side bend over to that right side. Turn the armpit up a little bit if you like. Nice deep inhale here, push down into your feet, and then as you exhale, maybe you have a little bit more to go. Inhale, coming all the way up, and then as you exhale, drop your hands down and straighten your legs. Slowly walk your feet together. All right, so we're gonna kind of work on creating some length to this outer hip flexor here. So our IT band that runs the outside of our legs oftentimes give our knees a lot of issues. Those particular muscles, this particular IT band attaches to 2 muscles. It attaches to your hip flexor on the outside and also your gluteal muscle. So if we want to relieve pain and get some good balance in our knees, we need to make sure that we stretch both of those muscles. So we're going to start with stretching the outer hip flexor in standing. We're going to stretch the gluteals once we get down to the mat. So in this position, take your feet and bring your feet towards one another so that they're nice and close. If you need a chair for balance, go ahead and get that. And then take your left leg and cross your left leg all the way up and over your right leg. So have it so that your left knee is basically stacked in front of your right knee. Now take your hands to your hips. You're gonna feel like your hips are kind of up and out to the side. So allow yourself to rotate your trunk so that your pelvis is pointing straight forward. You've got it. Now in this position, push down into both of your feet. Again, hold on if you need something for balance. Take a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, allow yourself to tighten your abdominals and allow your tailbone to gently tuck under. All right, now with this right arm, if your balance has it in it, take an inhale and lift the arm up, and then on the exhale, side bend to the left and push that hip out to the side. Keep that tailbone tucked under as you stretch. Can you take a deep inhale here into your belly, and then exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale in, and exhaling out. Inhale, lift the right arm up, and then exhale it down. Uncross the legs and kind of shake the legs out for a second. Have the feet touching once again so that the toes are touching, heels are slightly out. Then take the right leg, cross it up and over the left leg. So make sure that you can see that your right knee stacks in front of your left knee. If you place your hands on your hips right now, you're going to see that they kind of point up and away to the left. So allow yourself to rotate through your trunk and your hips to get your pelvis to point forward so that we can get that muscle. Now, nice deep inhale in, and then on the exhale, use those abdominals to tuck that tailbone under. You may already feel the stretch. Push down into your feet. Left arm, inhale that arm up, and then as you exhale, if your balance has it in you, reach up and over to the right side. Now keep that tailbone tucked under, push into the floor, deep inhale into your belly, and then exhaling out. Inhale, lifting the arm up, and then exhale, dropping it down, uncrossing the legs and kind of shaking it out. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to take your chair and place your chair so that you can see me somewhere near the center of your yoga mat. Once you have your chair somewhere near the center of your yoga mat, have it so that you've got your block and your band or your strap very close to you, because we're going to be using it in a second. We're just going to do a little bit of opening through the rest of our hip flexors before we do more strengthening of these muscles. So in this position, let's start with the right leg. Have yourself so that your left sit bone is the only thing in contact with the chair. Then allow yourself to stack your left knee straight on top of your left foot. So it shouldn't be that your heel and your knee line up, but you actually want your knee to line up with the center of your foot. Then allow the right leg to come back so that your right hip and your right knee are in alignment. Toes are tucked under on this right foot. Now in this position, go back to that pelvis and take a nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, tuck that tailbone under and feel that beautiful stretch through that right hip flexor. And if you would like, take a nice deep inhale, lift that right arm up, and then as you exhale, do a little side bend to your left. But keep that tailbone tuck to open up through those right hip flexors. Nice deep inhale into the belly here, and then exhaling out. Inhale, lifting the arm up, and then exhale, dropping the arm down. All right, let's stay here and work a little bit of these muscles in this position before we switch and change to stretching our left hip flexors. So from here, gently take your leg behind you. Take your entire rib cage and stack it up and over the left knee so that when you feel the weight through the left foot, your hands are actually pushing more weight down through the left foot. Very nice. Now in this position, start to let the right knee bend a little bit, but not so bent that you don't have a way to stand up. So have it that your knee is just slightly behind your hip. Toes are under for me. Keep your weight forward. All right, here we go. Take an inhale, straighten that right knee, push into the left foot. Exhale, come back down. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, straighten the right knee, push into the left foot. Exhale, come back down. 3 more times. Lengthen the neck, tuck the chin in. Exhale, come back down. And 2 more times. Inhale, straightening. Exhaling, come back down. And inhaling, straightening, push into that left foot, and then Exhaling, come back down. Very nice. Kind of weight shift yourself back on the chair. And then all you're going to do is an exact 180-degree turn so that that right sit bone is sitting on the corner of that chair. Check in with your right foot first. So is the right knee in line with the center of the foot? And then kind of look at the kneecap and line it up with the second toe. Once you have that, take the left knee and line the left knee up with the hip. Toes are gently tucked under here. Hands to the pelvis. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck that tailbone under and feel that beautiful stretch through that left hip flexor. If you'd like to add an arm to it, inhale, lifting the left arm up, and then exhale, side bending over. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Keep those abdominals engaged. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale. Then inhaling, lifting the left arm up, and then exhaling, dropping the arm down. All right, staying here, but taking your body now and weight shifting it so that your arms are stacked directly over that right foot. Left leg, you can kind of just bring your knee back a little bit, not so far back that you don't have anywhere to lift and not so far forward that you can't lift yourself. So somewhere where your knee is just behind your hip. Keep all of the weight of your trunk and your arms directly through this right leg. Push the right foot into the floor. Take an inhale and lift as you straighten the left leg. And then as you exhale, come back down to the corner of that chair. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin 4 more times. Inhale, push into the right foot, straighten the left knee. Exhale, come back down. 3 more times. Inhaling, push. Exhaling down. And inhaling, push. Exhaling down, and 1 more time. Inhaling, pushing through that right foot, straightening through that left knee, and then exhaling down. Very nice. Turn yourself so that you're facing with both sit bones now onto the edge of the chair, so not all the way back on the chair. And then find your trusty yoga block or something about 6 inches that's going to sit between the thighs. So not between the knees, but between the thighs. Now, here's what you're gonna do with your yoga strap. This might take you a few seconds to figure it out, so I'm gonna give you some time to do this. You can either loop your yoga strap or you can just tie a knot in your yoga strap. But step into your yoga strap once you have the loop, and what you're doing is you're strapping the yoga block to your thighs. So have it nice and tight so that you can't pull your legs out and lose the block. So the block is connected through the top and the block is connected through the bottom. So it's kind of like you've got a bind, as we say in yoga, between the block, the belt, and the legs. Now in this position, if it is something about 6 inches that you're using right now as a yoga block, your feet should equally be about that same 6-inch difference. Make sure that your sit bones are close to the edge of your chair. All right, now in this position, start to push out into the straps. You will literally feel your pelvis lift a little bit up off of the chair when you do that. That's the engagement of your gluteal muscles that kind of stabilize through the hips and the pelvis. So allow your hips to feel like they're pushing out, but they're only pushing out against that strap. Now, in this position, take that entire rib cage and shift it forward. You can either place your hands on your thighs if you think you might need some extra help. If you think you've got this and you're ready and willing to give these quadriceps and glutes a very good workout, then you can gently place your hands to the center of your heart. Either way, lengthen your neck and settle your chin down once you've watched me do this one time. So in this position with my entire rib cage over the center of my feet, I'm going to push with my feet as I lift off the chair. I keep pushing out with the strap and then I pinch as I stand fully up. Then I slowly come down and keep pushing out against the strap until I find the chair again. All right, are you ready? 5 times. Let's see if we can do this. So weight, shift your whole rib cage over your feet. Push into your feet as you lift up, push out into the strap, and pinch as you fully stand. Slowly lower yourself down. Keep pushing out into the strap to get those gluteals to fire. I promise you'll feel this tomorrow. Push into your feet, push out into the strap, and then pinch as you fully stand up. That's it. Slowly lower all the way down until your sit bones find the chair again. 3 more times. Push into the feet, push out into the strap, and pinch through your buttocks. And slowly lower back down, finding your sit bones to the chair. And 2 more times. Weight shift the trunk forward and push into your feet and push out into the strap and pinch those glutes together and slowly lower all the way down. And very last time, push into your feet and push out into that strap and pinch the glutes together and slowly lower all the way down. Very nice. Now, one quick note to mention. If you felt muscles happening in your ankles when you were doing that, that is a good thing. You are also working on firing some muscles in your foot and your ankle that you don't normally do because you're kind of weak through your legs. Very good. All right, so we are done with the strap and the block in sitting. So just gently place it down to the floor so that you've got it. Once we make our way down to the floor, we're gonna do one last thing in sitting though, just to kind of open up a little bit through our hamstrings before we make our way down to the floor. So just gently take your elbows and place your elbows on your thighs, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. You've got your entire body weight right now over your legs. So all I want you to do in this position is move only the knees. So keep your belly touching your thighs, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, shift yourself to the edge of the chair, and then without losing the weight of your elbows on your knees, just slowly lift your buttocks up to the ceiling. Allow yourself just to straighten your knees until you drop your head and look straight back behind you at your chair. Now in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, keep that belly touching those thighs. If you've got it in you, allow your arms to gently drop towards the floor, but lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and look back as you feel that opening through your hamstrings. Take one more nice deep inhale here, and an exhale. And then slowly lower your sit bones back to the chair, hands onto the thighs if you made them down to the floor, and slowly bring yourself back up into a sitting position. All right, let's make our way down to the floor. So we're done with our chair, so you can just gently kind of bring yourself down to the floor, take your chair, and just slowly move it out of your way. Once it's fully out of your way, then just make your way onto your hands and knees at the center of your mat. Now, strap, belt, we are going to use it in a little, so go ahead and keep them somewhere near you. Don't throw them off to the side too far. Find yourself in the position that your knees are hip distance. Remember, that's 2 fists. And then look back behind you and kind of line up your feet and your ankles so that your hips and your knees and your ankles and feet are all in the same alignment. Hips stacked directly on top of the knees. And take those hands and go shoulder width apart. Wrists and elbows underneath your shoulders, index fingers forward, thumbs inward. Spread out those outer 3 fingers. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Now, let's just take a moment here to kind of ground ourselves again into our little mantra we talked about. So kind of spread between your shoulders a little tiny bit. Allow yourself just to gently feel your belly moving up and down as you normally breathe, okay? Don't let your spine move. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, close your eyes, rest your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Take an inhale and say to yourself, this is stress. As you exhale, stress is a normal part of life. Inhale without doing or thinking anything. And on that final exhale, slowly out, may I find ease. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, this is stress. Exhale, stress is a normal part of life. Inhaling in, and then slowly exhaling, may I find ease. Very good. Let's go through 3 cat-cows here. So as you inhale, sink your belly, sink your spine, lift your tailbone, shoulder blades back, lengthen your neck, and look all the way up. And then as you exhale, pull that belly up and in, arch the back, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest, spread those shoulder blades. 2 more times. Inhale, sink the belly, sink the spine, lift the tailbone, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen the neck and look all the way up. And then as you exhale, curl everything under, tuck that chin to the chest, look into that belly button. 1 more time, inhaling, sinking everything down. And then as you exhale, curling everything up and under, belly into that chest. Very good. Coming back to the center and allowing yourself to come down onto your elbows. Now in this position, check in that your elbows and your shoulders are not out of alignment. So have it that your elbows are stacked directly underneath your shoulders and you haven't lost the hip on top of the knee alignment. Now in this position, keep your fingertips pointed forward. Take your right leg and slide your right leg back. Tuck your toes under, straighten your knee. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, push yourself back. Look back at your right heel. Make sure that the right heel is right behind that second toe and not turned inward. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, really straighten that knee and feel that stretch through that right calf. 1 more time, nice deep inhale in. And then as you exhale, stretch through that right calf that attaches to the back of that knee. Slowly slide the right knee back inward, reposition yourself, stack the hips on top of the knees, elbows directly underneath the shoulders. And then in this position, left leg, slide it straight back, toes are turned under, second toe and the heel in alignment. Take a nice deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, use your arm strength and push yourself back, pushing that right or left heel straight back. Now, straighten through that left knee. Take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, try to straighten that knee further as you push back. 1 more time, nice deep inhale in, and then as you exhale, push even further, trying to straighten that left knee and feel that calf muscle that attaches to the back of the knee. Slowly inhaling, bringing your knee back, inhale, exhaling, and then bringing your hands back up. Now just take a nice deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, slowly tuck your tailbone under, settle yourself into a child's pose, heels toward, or sit bones toward the heels, belly toward the thigh, chest towards the knee. See if you can find that crown of the head down towards the mat, and just soften your elbows for a second. Give yourself a second here just to go back to that breath as you're opening up through your gluteals and your low back. So take that inhale in. This is stress. As you exhale out, stress is a normal part of life. Inhaling in. And then as you exhale, may I find ease. Nice and easy. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhaling in. This is stress. Exhaling out. Stress is a normal part of life. Inhaling in. And then exhaling out, may I find ease. Beautiful. Now, slowly walking yourself back up onto hands and knees. Remember that other muscle I told you attached to that IT band? Well, we're going to tackle it right now. So we're going to tackle it a very different way than we normally do. We're going to do a modification of Pigeon pose, but a safe way without irritating the knee. So kind of crawl yourself up and walk yourself up so that your hands are up to the top of your mat. Again, they're shoulder width, and your wrists and your elbows stack on top of your shoulder. Hips are directly on top of your knees. In this position, take your left leg and bring your left leg to the right edge of your mat. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, slowly start to slide that left leg down until, you begin to feel that stretch through the right gluteals. Check in that you notice that your right knee is kind of in alignment with either your right shoulder or the center of your chest. Let your belly lay onto the right thigh if you can. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhale out. 1 more time, nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Using the strength of your trunk, Inhale, slide yourself back up and find that hands and knees position with your hands to the front, elbows and wrists directly under the shoulders that are shoulder width apart. Knees underneath the hips. Now take the right leg and go straight and find the left corner of your mat. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, slide that leg down that left corner of the mat until you feel your stretch in your left buttock. Once you're there, check in that your left knee kind of lines up with your left shoulder or the center of your chest. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly and exhale out. One more breath, nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Slowly tighten those abdominals. Use your trunk strength and bring yourself up to hands and knees, and just allow yourself to sit back for a second and grab your trusty little strap. So we're now going to lasso one of our feet. We're going to tackle stretching our quadriceps laying on our belly. So if you've got a loop on your yoga strap, bring the loop so that it is about the size of your foot, and you'll be able to place your foot inside that loop. Once you have that, gently bring the foot and the loop together behind you. Find the loop through the right foot. We're going to start with the right foot first. Bring the strap up and over your right shoulder so you've got everything ready to go once you lay down on your belly. Then allow yourself to kind of walk your knees back so that you're gently resting on your belly. If you've got a sensitive lumbar spine and you don't like this amount of extension, then just take a pillow or something and place the pillow underneath your belly and chest area so that your spine is not in end range extension. Now, in this position, hold the strap up and over the right shoulder. Allow yourself to take your knees here and squeeze your knees together as tightly as you can. Lengthen your neck and settle your chin so you're kind of gazing downward so your neck is not in end range extension. With your knees squeezed together, slowly pull that strap until you get your heel as close to your buttock as you can make it. Now, in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, tighten the abdominals as much as you can as you pelvic tilt. Keep the knees touching. Hold as you feel that stretch through your right quadricep. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, squeeze the knees tighter, tuck the tailbone under, and gently pull that heel towards that buttock. One more breath. Nice deep inhale in. Exhaling, squeezing the knees together, tucking that tailbone under, pulling that heel to that buttock. Beautiful. Now slowly letting the knee go. In this position, see if your loop is going to allow you to switch it from one foot to the other. I think I made mine too tight. Oh well. But I'm going to try to switch my loop. Aha, I did it. To my other foot. Move it around then over to the left shoulder once you have your left foot looped. Once you're in that position, allow yourself to now take your knees and squeeze your knees together as tightly as you can. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin so your neck is not in end range extension. With your knees squeezed together now, take that inhale and slowly start to pull that left heel towards that buttock. Go to where you feel only tension, not pain. Now let's add the final piece here. Take that nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, tuck that tailbone under and feel that stretch through your thigh. If you are feeling this in your knee, ladies and gentlemen, ease up a little bit. It should only be in your thigh. Now let's go through those breaths like we did on the right side. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, squeeze the knees, tuck the tailbone, gently pull the heel to the buttock. Deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling, squeezing the knees, tucking the tailbone, heel to the buttock. One more time. We did 3 on that right side, I do believe. Nice deep inhaling in. Keep that neck long, chin tucked. Exhaling, squeezing the knees, tucking the tailbone, pulling that heel to the buttock. Very nicely. Slowly allow yourself to kind of take your strap away from your foot and gently move your strap out to the side. We are done with it. Now, stay on your belly for a moment. Take your hands into a diamond shape with your fingers and just rest your forehead down into that little diamond shape. Take your right toes under and then take your left toes under. Holding in that position. Take a nice deep inhale, and then on your exhale, lift your right lift your right knee off of the floor. Feel that engagement through the right leg. Left leg is still relaxed. Now, take a deep inhale. On the exhale, tighten your abdominals and give yourself a little bit of a tailbone tuck, but keep that right knee straight. Very good. Finally, if you can keep the knees straight, the abdominals engaged, take one more inhale, and on the exhale, can you lift that foot 1 inch off the floor? Deep inhale here, and then exhale, drop the right foot back down to the floor. Let the knee relax back down onto the mat. Let's do that all over again on the left side. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, lift the left knee up off the floor, pushing your heel away from you. Next inhale, nice deep inhale. Exhale, tighten the abdominals and really feel that tilting of that tailbone under. Deep inhale in, and if you've got more space, keeping the knee straight, lift that left heel 1 inch off the floor, holding it there. Exhaling, dropping it back down. All right, let's try that one more time, each leg before we flip ourselves over. So resting your head down, chin gently tucked inward, tongue to the roof of your mouth. Both toes are turned under. Let's do the right leg first. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, straighten that right knee. Get that kneecap all the way off the floor. Deep inhale in. Exhale, tuck that tailbone under. Really feel those abdominals engage as you pull your rib cage down into the floor. Now, inhaling here, exhale, lift that right leg off the floor 1 to 2 inches. Feel that squeeze through those glutes, and then let it come down. Relax the right knee. Let's go all over again, last time on the left side. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, lift that left knee up. Deep inhale in. Exhale, tighten those abdominals. Pull that rib cage under, tuck that tailbone under. Keep that secure, strong trunk. Finally, inhale here. Exhale, lift that left toes or heel up to 1 inches. Hold it there, and then slowly drop it down. Very nice. Gently relax your feet down. Allow your hands to come underneath your shoulders. Touch your nose to your mat. Now, can you tighten those same abdominals that you just did, pulling your rib cage into the floor? Can you use your triceps and slide your nose all the way back on the floor until you make your way into child's pose? Going back to our little mantra for the day. So settling your heels and your tail and your sit bones, resting your belly on your thighs, chest onto your knees, gently the crown of your head onto the floor. Just gently soften your elbows and rest them onto the floor. Take a deep inhale into your belly. As you do, say, this is stress. And then as you exhale, stress is a normal part of life. Nice little inhale in. And then on that exhale, may I find ease. One more time. Inhale into the belly. This is stress. Exhaling, stress is a normal part of life. Inhaling back in. And then on that slow exhale, may I find ease. Very nice. Now, slowly bringing yourself up onto hands and knees, allowing yourself to lay on your left side. Time to find that block. Rest your head onto that block. In this position, oftentimes the reason we have pain in our knees is because these little hips are weak. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise called Clam. But we're going to do Clam a very particular way to fire those external rotators of your hip that are oftentimes weak. So rest your head, make sure you're in a nice neutral position. Today, we're not going to keep our feet lined up with the side of our mat, but instead, drop your knees below your hips so that your ankles line up with your hips and your trunk and your shoulders and your head. So it will be that you look like your hips are on about a 60-degree angle-ish. Heels are together here, toes are together here. In this position, take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, really start to tighten and brace your abdominals, so don't let your trunk move. Now, with the right knee, inhale and lift the right knee up. Feel the squeeze through your right hip, and then as you exhale, just simply drop it back down. 4 more times. Inhale, keep the abdominals firm. Exhale, dropping it down. Inhale, lift the knee up, keep the abdominals and trunk stable. Exhale, drop it back down. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting that knee up, and then exhaling, dropping it back down. And final time, inhaling, lifting it up, and exhaling, dropping it down. Very nice. From here, just literally roll yourself over, find yourself laying on your right side. I'm just going to do a little switchy switch. So I'm still facing you. In this position, have your block again so that it's resting your head, so your neck is in a nice neutral position. Have it so that your trunk is shoulder stacked on top of shoulder, knees and hips stacked one on top of the other. But what we're going to do today is not line our feet up with the outside of our mat, but instead take our hips out of that 90-90 and more into about a 60-degree angle so that your ankles line up with your hips, line up with your trunk, shoulders, and head. Now, heels and feet are together. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, start to tighten and brace through your abdominals. So keep your trunk nice and stable. Don't let your pelvis move. Left knee. Take an inhale and lift just the knee up. So don't let your pelvis rotate. Trunk should be stable. And then as you exhale, bring it back down. 4 more times. Inhaling, lifting that left knee up. Exhaling, bringing it back down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling and down. And 2 more times. Inhaling and lifting. And exhaling and down. And final time for me, inhale, lifting that knee up, and exhaling and dropping it down. Very nice. Now from here, gently take your block, place it out to the side of your body, and roll yourself over onto your back. Once you're on your back, check in that your neck is nice and long, your chin is settled into your throat, shoulder blades are back and underneath you. You feel like there's space through your low back. Knees are bent here, feet are flat. Take the right knee to the chest, nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, pull that knee into your chest. With the left leg, take an inhale here, and on the exhale, slide that left leg down. Now, as you inhale, push the left leg down into the floor, and as you exhale, pull the right knee into your chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, push the left leg down, feel your glutes engage. Exhale, pull your right knee to your chest. And 1 more time, inhale, pushing that left leg straight down into the floor. Exhaling, pulling that right knee into your chest. Relaxing your left leg completely, but leaving your left leg there, just taking your hands now to the underside of your thigh. Shoulder blades are back and down, elbows are towards the floor. Allow your toes of both feet now to point up, a little bit more hamstring, a little bit extra sciatic nerve while we're at it. In this position, lengthen your neck and settle your chin and gaze up to your ceiling. Keep your knees snug to your chest on the right side. And then as you inhale, slightly bring those toes up and gaze at your big toe. And then as you exhale, slowly let it come back down. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhaling, straightening the knee. Exhaling, relaxing it down. Inhaling, straightening the knee. And exhaling, relaxing it down. 2 more times. Inhaling, straightening. And exhaling, relaxing. And inhaling, straightening. And exhaling and relaxing. Very nice. Left leg, take an inhale, slide that leg up, and then on the exhale, release the right foot to the floor. Take an inhale as you bring your left knee to your chest, and as you exhale, pull your knee nice and tight to your chest. Take an inhale here, and then on the exhale, slide that right leg straight down the mat. All right, that same push and pull here. So on your inhale, straighten your right leg, push it down into the floor, feel your glutes engage. As you exhale, pull your left knee into your chest. Neck is long, chin is tucked, gaze upward. Inhale, push your right foot down into the floor, leg is straight, glutes are engaged. Exhale, pull that left knee into your chest. One more time. Inhaling, pushing that right leg down, feeling that squeeze to the right glute, and then exhale, pulling that left knee to your chest. Beautiful. Relaxing through the right leg. And then in this position, keeping the right leg there, but just simply taking your hands to the underside of the left leg. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, shoulder blades are back and down. And this time, take both sets of toes and point them up towards your head. Gaze upward here. Keep that left knee nice and snug towards the chest. Take an inhale and start to straighten the knee as you gaze towards that left big toe. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering the leg down. 4 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling and exhaling. 2 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Holding the left leg, take an inhale, slide the right leg up, and once the foot is flat, release the left foot to the floor on the exhale. All right, grab that block. Have the block in the right hand, and take the right ankle up and over the left knee. Take the block against the right knee. Take your left hand, please, and have a seat onto it so you feel like you're pushing your body weight and the entire pelvis onto that left hand. So you will feel like your legs are actually slightly rotated to the left side. That is just going to kind of secure your trunk and your pelvis in a stable position so that we will be focusing right here again on that outer part of that right hip so that we can take any tension away from the outside of our right knee. So in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, gently start to push the right knee away until you begin to feel that stretch just on the outside of that right hip. That is that part of that hip flexor that we're really trying to tackle. Hold that stretch there, sit into that left hand. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, maybe see if you got a bit more push, but not if you unload your left hand, not if you lose the stretch to the outside of the right hip. Now maintain that tension into the right leg with the block. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, rest your tongue, maybe even close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. This is stress. And then as you exhale, stress is a normal part of life. Inhale into that hip. And then as you exhale, may I find ease. Well, let's do that again. Inhale into the belly. This is stress. Exhaling out. Stress is a normal part of life. Inhale deep into that right hip. And then as you exhale, may I find ease. Slowly releasing the tension on the right hip, unrotating yourself to take the hand away from the buttock. Uncross the right leg and then take the left foot, cross it up and over the right knee. Block is against the left knee, right hand, have it underneath the buttock and literally let your pelvis rotate a little bit to the right. So you can keep a nice stable trunk and a nice stable pelvis as you keep the weight into that right hand. Now taking a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, starting to push that left knee away, but not letting your back arch, not letting any weight come off of that right hand. feel that little bit of tension in the outside of the left knee or hip, sorry. Let's try that again. Nice deep inhale in. As you exhale, pushing the block out, sitting into the right hand, keeping the trunk nice and stable. Now, find that breath, find your mantra for today. Deep inhale into the belly. This is stress. And then as you exhale, stress is a normal part of life. Inhale into that left hip. And then as you exhale, may I find ease. Sit into that right hand. Don't let your trunk move. Gently keep that tension on the left hip. One more time. Inhale into the belly. This is stress, ladies and gentlemen. And then as you exhale out, stress is a normal part of life. Take a deep inhale into that left hip. And then as you exhale out, may I find ease. Beautiful. Take the tension off of that knee. You are done with the block. Take it away from you. Gently uncross the leg. Allow your knees and your feet to come to the center of your body for a second. And just gently start to let your knees fall side to side. Don't worry about breath yet. Just kind of let that happen. As you're doing that, what you're doing right now is kind of massaging through the right and the left gluteal muscles. Very nice. Keep going a little tiny bit more. Excellent. Now take your feet and walk your feet to the right edge of your mat. And take your left leg and cross it open over your right leg. Getting that nice stretch to those outer hip flexors one more time. Take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, just pull that right knee down to the center of your mat and feel that opening through the hip. Not really focusing on a full spinal twist yet, so just feel the hip stretch. Take a deep inhale into that right hip. Exhaling out. One more breath. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Slowly pulling the knees back up, uncrossing that left leg over the right and walking those feet to the right edge of the mat, allowing the right leg to cross up and over the left. Taking a deep inhale here and exhale, pulling that left knee down to the center of the mat, feeling that stretch through the front of the left hip area, not going into a full spinal twist just yet. Take a deep inhale into the belly and into those hip flexors. And then exhaling out. One more breath. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Beautiful. Inhale, bringing the knees back up. Uncrossing the right leg and then walking the feet back to the center of the mat, and now going into our spinal twist. So allowing the right leg to come straight down the mat, left foot up on top of the right thigh, right hand up and over to that left knee, left arm. You can place it gently out to the side of your body or in goal pose or cactus pose, whichever you prefer. Take a nice deep inhale here, and now on the exhale, pull that knee across, feel that tailbone and the pelvis lift, feel your low back lift. Feel your spine rotate, but keep that left shoulder blade on the floor. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take that gaze to that left thumb. Take a deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Slowly bringing your head back to the center. Start at the rib cage first and bring it back down, followed by the low back, followed by the pelvis. Unrotate that knee. Place the left foot on the floor. Slide the right leg up. Left leg slides down. Right foot comes up and over onto that left thigh. Left hand, reach for that right knee. Right hand over to the side of your body or in goal pose position. Cactus pose, whichever you prefer. Nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to get that rotation out of the hip first. Lift the pelvis, lift the low back, lift that rib cage, keep that shoulder blade down. Once you're there, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and take that gaze to your right arm. Take a deep inhaling into the spinal twist here. And then as you exhale, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
One more nice deep inhale in and exhaling. Slowly bringing your head back to the center, starting at the rib cage first, de-rotating the rib cage, then the spine, unrotate the pelvis, hip, right foot on the floor, slide the left leg up. Now, here's what I want you to do. Have yourself so that you feel like your rib cage and your pelvis are nice and level on the floor. So if you were to place your hand underneath you, you can get about an inch underneath your low back, in most times the efficient position. In that position, tighten your abdominals and just gently push into your fingertips behind you for a moment. Keep that engagement and bring your legs straight down onto the mat. So before we find our Savasana today, we're going to do just a little bit more training for these quadricep muscles. So in this position, my abdominals are tight. I'm holding my back still. I'm even using fingers to kind of push into today so that I don't let my back arch too much. And I'm going to point my toes up towards my head to get a bit of stretch through my calf muscles. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now in this position, can you tighten your quadricep on your right leg and really push that calf into the floor? And then exhale that. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take an inhale, push that left quadricep and calf down into the floor. You may even feel your glute fire. And you relax that. Remember, keep your abdominals tight here. Don't let your spine move. Right leg, inhale, push that right leg down into the floor. Keep the abdominals tight. Exhale, relax. Left leg, inhale, push that leg down, squeeze that calf down into your mat. And exhale, one more time on each. Right leg, toes are up. Inhale, push the knee down, push the quad or the calf down into the muscle, into the mat. Exhale here. Last time with the left leg, inhale, push that knee down, squish that calf into the mat, and exhale. Beautiful. Now gently let your legs fall out the width of your mat. Slowly relax the abdominal muscles and check in that your shoulder blades are down and underneath you. Allow yourself to rest your arms out to the side of your mat. Lengthen your neck and settle your chin. Do any last little mini adjustments to your body, your spine that you need to. Now, let's one last time go through our mantra for our day. Take a deep inhale into your belly. This is stress. As you exhale, stress is a normal part of life. Take that inhale in. Slowly exhale. May I find ease. Let's do that again. Inhale into your belly. This is stress. Exhaling, stress is a normal part of life. Inhaling in and exhaling out slowly. May I find ease. Now let your belly be soft and relaxed. Let your body be still. Check in that your tongue is resting in the roof of your mouth and your veils of your eyes are gently closed. Start to slowly feel the belly moving up and down, very slowly with your normal breath. And on every exhale for the next several, just say to yourself, may I find ease. May I find ease. Just keep repeating it. Now start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe bring some wrist circles and ankle circles to your body. And then when you feel like you're ready, slide your right leg up, followed by your left. And then gently allow yourself to roll over onto your side. Just there for maybe one nice inhale and exhale. And then on your next exhale, using your top arm first and pushing yourself up into a seated position. Hands are to our hearts and smiles are on our faces. Take a nice deep inhale in and out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. And thank you.